Hi, how are you? I hope you're having a really good new year. Our new year hasn't started off that brilliantly. The reason I haven't done a couple of videos or any videos for the last week and a bit is because we had some flooding in our house. Not like you've seen on the TV, but the shower was leaking and it was coming through the ceiling in the hall. So we've had to sort of deal with that. We're going to have some major work done, but that's the reason I haven't been doing any videos in the last week and a bit. But anyway, I'm here today to do my December wrap up. I know it's the 10th of January and I am just doing my December wrap up. I'm slow, but hey, that's the way we go. Okay, I've had not a bad month, like December, there you go. So that was quite good. So that's what, 2, 4, 6, 7 books, not bad. No, actually there's 8 because there was one I read in my Kindle as well. Okay, never mind. Anyway, the first one I read was The Christmas Chronicles, The Legend of Santa Claus by Tim Slover. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. I really, really enjoyed it. It tells the story of how Santa came to be, and it's just stunning. It's written for children, but there's a lot that adults can take from it as well, and I would highly, highly recommend it. It's one of these books I can see people reading in the run-up to Christmas with their children at night, which is really lovely. The next one I read was one of my all-time favourites, Nora Roberts, The McGregor Brides, Christmas Fairy Tales. The reason I love this so much is because I love the character of Daniel McGregor. He's the grandfather and he's trying to sort of encourage his grandchildren to get married. So he sets his sights on marrying off or trying to sort of get the 3 oldest granddaughters to marry, and he doesn't set them up, well, yeah, he does kind of set them up with men he thinks are eligible. And this is the story of what happens during the setting up and how the girls react. They sort of think they're older, wiser, that there's no way that Grandpa's going to be able to set them up, but he does, and he does it beautifully, and it's just a really fun book to read. I decided at that point I needed a change from Christmas books. So I read Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. Really well written. Teaches everybody never judge a person by the way they look or judge a book by its cover. It was just so beautiful, and it was, I can't describe it, it was just touched you. It really did touch you, and you rooted for him, and you hated, well, maybe I did hate Justin. I'm not sure whether I hated him or not, but I really didn't like him. He was a despicable little brat. But I liked a lot of the other characters, but Augie was just a beautiful, beautiful character. The story was just so well written, and it's, as I say, it's a book that everybody can get so much out of. Then we went back to Christmas. Well, it was December, so Debbie Maycomer's Dashing Through the Snow. This was her 2015 Christmas book about a young lady who wants to get home to see her mum for Christmas, but ends up for some reason being on a no-fly list and is trying to get a plane home but can't, and ends up renting a car with this gentleman who also has to be in Seattle for a job interview, and it's the story of their journey from where they are to Seattle and all the things that happen. Some of it was a slightly, not unbelievable, but one of the characters I was like, oh, can you really be that stupid? Can you really, really be that narrow-minded and silly? And I'm afraid, yes, he could be, but I'm glad something happened to him that he gets his comeuppance, which was good. But yes, a very, very good read. Then I went for another Debbie Maycomer. This was Not Just for Christmas. These are 2 stories. One is to do with, takes you back to Buffalo Valley, which is one of a series from further back, and you meet a new character there, and it's really, really nice. And the second one is to do with a young girl who goes to college and is so set on getting her degree and everything, but she thinks she can't have a romance, and she ends up doing so, and it's just, again, very beautiful stories, very well written, as Debbie always writes beautifully. Characters are just so, so believable. I then tried Scandal Takes a Holiday by Lindsay Davis. I managed 100 pages. I'm sorry, this book was just not for me. I was given this by a friend to borrow. She thought I would like it because it's in the sort of Roman Greek time and I quite like that. But oh boy, it was just so slow. So I'm afraid 100 pages in, I thought I've had enough, I can't take any more, so I ditched it. And then I was really lucky enough, I won this book in a free giveaway for Goodreads, and it's A Miracle at Macy's by Lynn Marie Halsman. I love this book, it was brilliant. It's to do with, I can't remember the character's name, Charlotte has a lovely little dog called Hudson. And she and Hudson live in an apartment in New York. She's been brought up by an aunt who is into event management and is just like so focused in that, and always has been focused in that maybe she didn't spend enough time with Charlotte when she was younger. And so their relationship is slightly, not strange, but it's not warm, shall we say, slightly cold. But one day while Charlotte is out walking Hudson in Central Park, he goes missing. He runs away and he starts to have adventures in New York. Charlotte is trying to find him with the help of two very lovely policemen and her aunt's PA who comes in to help, Henry Wentworth. Now Henry is, his character is this stuck-up English guy. But you find as the story goes on that there is more to Charlotte, there's more to Henry and their backgrounds than you first thought, and it's just a beautiful story because it takes you all around New York at Christmas time in the winter, and it's just beautiful. They describe Macy's front windows to you, and you're like, oh, that sounds so nice. I was so intrigued that I actually googled Macy's Christmas windows for 2015, and I have to say they were absolutely gorgeous. They were fantastic. Something I would love to see, because I'm afraid that where I live that the shops don't really do very much for Christmas, which is a shame. I think if they did it would be far better. So those were all the books I read in December. There is another one. There was one I read in my Kindle and I can't for the life of me remember what it is. I do my diary. Hold on, wait 1 minute. Where is it? Gosh, this is great. I've lost my wee diary book. Oh no, it's on my bed. Fiona, you muppet. Okay, the last one was From Paris with Love This Christmas. It was a Kindle book. Again, really enjoyed it. To do with a young girl who comes over to Paris to visit her sister in London, to discover that her sister isn't living in the house, but there's a gentleman there who is a friend of her sister's. She ends up finding out that her sister has bought a house, or is moving to Yorkshire to take up residence in the house that was left to her by her father, who also happens to be this other girl's father, like they're sisters. And the one that comes from Paris, wants to stand on her own 2 feet, wants to be a fashion designer, and it's a story of how she tries to get into college in London and makes friends with people in Yorkshire through the gentleman that's living in the house in London, and it's just a really nice story. It's about a girl who's finding her own feet, growing in her own character, being her own self, and again a very nice read, something that you can take, that someone can take a lot from. So that was it. So that, I think, is 8 or 9 books for December, which really pleased with. Please let me know down below some of the books that you read during December. I know it's a month past, but it'd be really nice to know what you read. Have you read any of the books that I have mentioned? If you have, again, please let me know down below what you thought of them. And I will see you soon with another video. Bye!